All right, so today's class, we're going to be doing support and resistance. So we're also going to be practicing. Okay. A few things that we'll go over is how do you actually draw your support resistance, which is right here, how we get them, what they are, things like that. Once we get that, we're going to go over the strength assessment. This just goes over, okay, how do we know how strong the level is and how do we actually take trades based off of these levels that we make? Okay. And then we're also going to be looking into how support turns into resistance, resistance turns into support. And then we're actually going to talk about here, this is where we're going to do our training, and we're actually going to go into, okay, where do I actually enter? Okay. In case you guys missed the last few classes, we went over market structure and trend analysis, went over trend lines, time frames, stuff like that. We went over candlesticks in depth. Okay. We also went over picking a broker and a demo account. So you guys should have your demo accounts kind of open, ready to go. And we're going to be practicing and taking trades based off of those. Okay. And then we also went over the different types of markets, Forex, equities, options, futures, all of those things. So if you missed those, they are on the YouTube channel. Free access to everybody. You can share them, stuff like that. Okay, so we're going to kind of go ahead and get started here. First, we have to go over support and resistance, okay? What is it in the first place? Because we cannot just start drawing lines on a chart because I think this class moving forward, okay, you guys are going to see supply and demand, paper trading, all those things are very exciting, right? But the problem is you need to understand why we make them in the first place, okay? First, let's go over the terms. Support. Okay, what is support? Support, I like to think of as the floor. Okay, so we're going to establish that support is the floor. I'll go in a minute about what I mean by this. And then resistance. Okay, what is that? Okay, this is our ceiling. Okay, so what I'm trying to say when I mean floor and ceiling is if I am here on a house, okay, and I jump, what am I going to hit? I'm going to hit the ceiling. Okay, what is the ceiling going to do? It's going to make me come right back down again. I'm going to hit my head, I'm going to come back down. Okay, if I'm on the floor and I jump, guess what? That floor is going to hold me up so I don't fall through the ground. Okay, same thing here. A support level is a level that is holding. A resistance level is a level that's holding as well, but it's going to be on the upper hand. Okay, so just to draw you here, this would be your support level. This would be your resistance. Okay, and what price will do is it will usually ping pong between these levels. Okay, now we need to understand why does price do this? Okay, and once again, you guys can stop me for questions on anything you guys have throughout the lesson. Okay, why does price go between support and resistance? Okay, remember the candlesticks and us talking about algos buying, market makers buying, all those things. Okay, support is usually going to be where people are buying. Okay, resistance is usually going to be where people are selling. Not always, remember in trading, it's never a one thing fits it all. Okay, but just key terms is support and resistance. We usually get buying pressure at support. At resistance, we usually end up getting selling pressure. Okay, any questions so far on support and resistance? Okay, now let's kind of talk about how do we actually use these support and resistance levels. Okay, the theory, okay, that we're following is if, okay, what's something that we know about humans? And I'm going to kind of talk about psychology here, is humans are very predictive creatures. Okay, you probably wake up every day on the same side of your bed. You probably drink the same tea in the morning. You probably use the bathroom at the same time. You probably dress, get ready for work. And that's kind of how our life is structured. Okay. So what ends up happening is if there's a prior level, and this is the theory that we're following whenever we're trading support resistance, is if there was a prior level at this price, okay, and price bounced off, okay, this is called a bounce, by the way, this point right here, price bounced, okay, in the past, we think in the future that it's going to bounce that same level again, okay? So what we're pretty much doing is we're finding patterns in the market because trading is all about finding patterns or they call it efficiencies. Okay. Same thing with resistance. It's the same exact thing. Okay. Now, one thing you really kind of want to note down is that the role reversal, okay, we're going to look at charts in a minute, but support can turn into resistance, okay? And resistance can turn into support, okay? This can always happen because price, okay, is a commodity. It's always going to move one way or another, okay? So if we previously had a level here and price pushed up, okay, this is a support. Why? Because price was down here. But then we had resistance here. If this resistance gets broken and retested, then that becomes a support, okay? So just remember those terms, and we're going to kind of look at some charts here as well. Okay, so once again, we're going to TradingView. Everybody should be kind of familiar with this now. It's a free platform. You don't have to pay for anything unless you want the premium subscription. Okay, and let's kind of take a look. Let's start with SPY here. Okay, let's kind of look at SPY. Let's get rid of all the indicators that we're not going to use, and let's take a look at this right here. Okay, what's the first thing you guys notice? Okay, can somebody tell me what's the first thing you notice when you look at this chart?
It's an uptrend.
Okay, so we've established first thing, uptrend. Okay, now here's the thing with whenever we're drawing levels. Okay, your first question is going to be time frame. Everybody's first question is whenever we're drawing these support and resistance levels, our time frame is a huge, huge factor. Okay, and I will go to that in a minute. But the second thing you really have to think about, okay, and the other question that you should have is when I'm looking at this chart, there's so much data here. I mean, just look at this. Okay, do I draw my levels from here to here? Do I draw my levels from here to here? Do I draw my levels from here to here? Okay, that's a big question. And my thing is in trading, we always want to be as efficient as possible because we don't want to waste time because as traders, we have to make decisions pretty fast, especially as day traders or scalpers. Okay, so what we're going to do first thing, okay, and by the way, I call this strategy the top down, okay, top down analysis. Okay, so this is called the top-down analysis, and I'll kind of show you guys. First thing we're going to do, number one thing, is start with the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so we're going to start on the 4-hour time frame, and just to get you used to drawing these levels, what I want you to look for in this chart, okay, is I want you to look for V shapes and upside down V shapes. What do I mean by this? Okay, is right here you guys see we have a V shape. You guys see that here we also have a little V shape. You guys see here we also have a V shape. Okay, I want you to start looking for these V shapes before you even draw the levels because what price ends up doing is wherever there's a V shape, we usually get another V shape. Okay, you guys see this right here. Okay, first thing before you even start drawing, okay, if you're completely new to support and resistance, is I want you to start off by looking for these V shapes. Once you get your eyes used to seeing these V shapes, finding support and resistance is going to come much easier. Okay. Now, once again, I'm going to do a little clarification on why we use support and resistance. Okay. If we look here, we saw that price came down. Okay. Price held this level. The reason we know it's holding is because we can confirm by the wicks and the candlesticks, and then price pushed up, and then price came right back down to that same exact level and then went back up. Okay, as a trader, we can make money by predicting that because this level bounced before, once it comes down again to this level, we think it's going to bounce again. That's why we do support and resistance. Okay, any questions there about support and resistance so far? None? Okay, we're gonna keep going. So once again, this is me showing you an example of why we use support and resistance. Okay, this would be a support level. Okay, so going back to our time frame, we're on the 4-hour. Okay. First thing we have to do is we have to remove all of the noise. What I mean by this is we don't, once again, we don't care about all of this data. We don't care. We don't want to waste time doing these levels. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to first find the highest point on this chart. What's the highest point? Well, that looks like today. Okay. And once again, because these are people that are trading this, okay, one thing you have to know about support resistance or anything you do in trading is nothing is perfect. Okay, so this level doesn't have to be exactly at the top. Okay, it can be a few cents off. All of our levels will always be a few cents off. Even if we have the same exact support resistance, our levels will always be a few cents off, and that is expected. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we are going to find our top. Okay, we can identify this as being our top because if we look at this chart and we zoom out a little bit, we can see, okay, this is the highest point on the chart. Okay, second thing we are going to do is find our last big low. Last big low. Okay, what I mean by that is we're going to find the last big V shape. Where's the last big V shape? Is it this one? Is it this one? Is it this one? Well, it's going to be this one. Why? Why is this important and relevant to us? Okay, because now, do you know what I just did? I took all of this data that we had before, and now I said to myself, only this data matters to me. Okay, we just saved ourselves 10, 20 minutes of charting just by consolidating and saying, okay, this and this is where all the data is currently. Okay, this is the most relevant data.
Why is it that V shape?
Okay, why is it a V shape? Okay, so remember, there's buyers in the market and then there's sellers, right? These V shapes, what we end up getting is whenever there's institutions or even traders trading, there's going to be, if you look at the psychology of it, there's going to be sellers coming in and there's going to be buyers coming in. Okay. Whenever this happens, the market's going to make a pattern. Remember, whenever we were looking at candlesticks, we were looking at certain patterns, like we were looking at this candle right here, and we were calling it a hammer. Okay. So if you were in that class, you kind of saw it. This was a hammer. We have an engulfing right here. We have an engulfing right here. Same thing here. We're looking for patterns that are easy to catch with the eye. Okay. So we've identified that this is the top, this is the bottom. Okay. This is what we would call a channel. Okay. Sound familiar? Okay. From the last class, you guys can see this is a channel. We can also verify this by taking our parallel channel. We can draw it up here and we can draw this out. Okay, so we have the top, we have the bottom, we have the top. Now we know the data that we're working with. I'm gonna kind of get rid of that. And so now what we do, okay, and this is a rule of thumb, is we start with the 4 hour time frame, and what we're going to do is we're going to look for a minimum of 3 touches. If a level does not have 3 touches, just like our trend line, we are not going to draw that level. Okay, so kind of let's go ahead and get started here. Okay, I want you guys to tell me to stop whenever you guys think there is a support or a resistance level, and then I want you to tell me why. All right, are you guys ready? Let's go.
Uh, right there,
Right here? Okay, why?
little bit up.
A little bit up. Right here?
Hmm.
Okay, why?
Because that does the 3 spots.
Okay, so what he's saying, guys, is right here we have a V shape, upside down V. We have upside down V here, and then it also touched right here. Okay, once again, trading, you're not going to get perfect levels, but look what price did here. It came here, came back down. It came here, it came back down. Okay. A price does not have to go from here all the way to here to be a support or resistance. Okay. So now we drew our first level. Okay. Here's the rule of thumb. Once you draw this level, you are not allowed to go back up here. Okay. This space now, you're not allowed to touch moving forward. Okay. So now we're going to keep going from here. Tell me to stop whenever you guys think there's a level. Once again, let's keep going. No one?
There was a level up top in the middle.
Okay, let's try again. Tell me to stop whenever you think there's a level.
I was waiting for the others, but
Stop. Okay, so we drew a level here. Okay, why did we draw a level here once again? Upside down V, upside down V, okay? And then we also have this little V right here. Okay, but once again, price is rejecting. Okay, we call this rejection. Okay, this is what we would call a bounce. Okay, so now we've made some of our levels. Let's keep going. Let's see if we can make any more. Okay, once again, please yell stop.
Stop.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay. Once again, the reason he's saying this level is here we have a rejection. Okay, let's talk about this rejection for a minute. What's the first thing you guys notice about this right here, about this candle right here? Okay, is that it didn't go all the way to this level. Once again, trading is not perfect. Okay, these are people trading. They're not going to get it exactly to the level every single time, but we have a nice rejection here. That's one touch here. Okay, second touch right here. Okay. But once again, look what price did. Price break through that level, came back up, and then we have this right here. Okay. We have another V shape right here. One, two. And then if we go here to the right hand side, you guys can see we have price holding. But more importantly than that, if we go back just a little bit, you guys can see right around here how there's a lot of wicking happening. Okay. Once again, wicking. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. I'm pretty happy with that level. Let's keep going.
Stop. Little bit.
Okay, let's start again. Tell me to stop.
Stop.
Okay, whoever said stop. Great. So now we've identified key levels. Okay. This is usually where everybody starts asking, how many levels, okay, should we have for this to be a support or resistance? Or for how many levels should we even have on this chart from here to here? Okay. And the answer is there is no right answer. Okay. Some stocks you will have 10 levels, some stocks you will have no levels, some stocks you'll have 100 levels. Okay. Depending on your data range and what the chart is showing you, you do not get to decide how many levels are going to be on the chart. Okay. So now what we do is we completed our 4-hour analysis. Now what are we going to do? We're going to go to the 1 hour. Okay. So we go from 4-hour. Now we go to the 1 hour. Okay. So now
Just got yellow.
somebody's not on mute. Mrs. Tapa. Thank you. So here we go. Now we're on the 1 hour time frame. Okay. Why are we on the 1 hour? Okay, this is so we can refine our levels. Okay, what I mean by refine is remember those points that were not perfect that we were talking about. Okay, we want to see if we can move those to get any better touches. So we're going to work with this data set and we're going to start from the top again. We have here, okay, price rejected, rejected, rejected. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's look here, okay, there's a wick up here. There's rejection over here. Okay, so there's a little bit of wicking happening over here. There's a nice rejection here, nice rejection here. We have this little bit of chop, okay, and then we have a nice little rejection here. So I'm pretty happy with that level as well. Let's keep going. Okay, let's see this one. Okay, can we move this here, or do we want to keep this up here? Okay, and we're gonna want to keep this level where it was because there's more touches here than if we were to move this below. Okay, we don't care if we get a clean chart or not. Okay, so we have all of these levels now. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go down to the 15-minute time frame. Not the 5, but we're gonna go to the 15-minute. And this is where people start missing some of their levels. Okay, this is Monday's data, this is Friday, this is Thursday. Okay, we have to take into account that once you guys start trading, what's going to happen is you have these levels drawn, but there's no levels up here. Okay, meaning that you can't really trade. But there are hidden levels here. Okay, the way we can identify that is if we go to the 15-minute and we start doing the same thing again with our support and resistance. I'm going to make this a different color this time, and let's just do a black line. Okay, let's start from up here. Okay, we need to use last week's levels to make this week's levels. And you guys see me using this strategy all the time. Okay, is we're going to see if we can use last week's levels. Okay, well, let's see here. Okay, you guys can see price right here rejected, price right here rejected, price right here rejected. Okay, and then price right here rejected. So why isn't this a support or resistance level? Okay, because it is. Okay, and that's what we tend to miss now. That doesn't mean you go around making 30 different support resistance levels, but last week this looks like it was a critical level. Okay, and by the way, If you ever hear us calling these, we also call these key levels. Okay, once again, that's another term you want to add to your rule book is we also call support and resistance key levels. Now let's kind of do a little bit of analysis here. Okay, let's go ahead and look at this right here. Okay, we're going to look at this. We're going to look at this from the bottom to the top. But look what's kind of happening. Okay, market's going up, market pulls back down. Market goes up, market pulls back down. Market goes up, market's pulling back down. We know that this is a uptrend. Okay, this is something that you guys learned in the last class. So we know that market's at an uptrend. Okay, why are these levels important to us? Okay, let's start applying a few things that we learned. Okay, what's the first thing we learned? We learned about the candlesticks. Okay, so I want you guys to apply candlesticks and I want you guys to apply our channels or our trend lines. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw a channel here. Okay, we established that this is a channel. Okay, and I'm also going to draw a level right here that we seem to have missed. Okay, now what ends up happening is remember we talked about the trend lines and the channels last week. Okay, and we're making this higher high, we're making this higher low setup. Okay, how do we know where to buy when we're getting higher high, higher low? Because price could theoretically keep going down or price could theoretically keep going up. Okay, how do we know where price is going to go next? And this is where your support and resistance levels come in. Okay, quick question here. Prague, please don't answer this. I want somebody else to answer this. Okay, if the current price is here, okay, is this a support or a resistance? This line right here. If this is the current price.
That's the support
Why?
because that's already gone through. That's line already crossed by the price.
Yes. So once again, what he is saying is price is here, my level is down here. Because my level is below, okay, it automatically becomes the floor. Okay. Somebody that hasn't answered, I want you to answer this, okay? What if price is here? What is this level right here? Somebody tell me.
That's resistant
Okay, why is this resistance?
because it's below the level.
Okay, exactly. So it's below. Okay. So now we have to add another factor, current price, okay, or CP. Okay, current price. Where is current price? If current price is here, then this becomes support, this becomes resistance. If current price is here, this becomes support, this becomes resistance. Okay, so now we're gonna do kind of a little exercise here. Okay, I'm gonna turn off my screen just like last week. Okay, any questions before we move on to any trading we do? Trading, training, any questions you guys have? Okay. Your guys' job in this exercise is to tell me where there is a wrong level. Okay, so I'm going to try to confuse you guys, and your guys' job is to tell me which level is wrong and why. Okay, let's start with this chart right here. Okay, which one of these levels are wrong? Okay, remember we're doing the top-down analysis. I don't care about anything else. We're doing the top-down. Okay, which one of these levels is wrong and why? Can somebody tell me? Okay, all the prices are on the right-hand side. Okay, there is a level here that is wrong.
All the way down
Okay, this level?
7, yeah,
Okay, why?
because it doesn't make a V shape, proper V shape,
Okay, what else?
and it doesn't toss the far right side level because it just toss the two closer price.
Yes. So The reason this level is wrong, in case anybody didn't understand, okay, is when we're doing the top-down analysis, first thing we do is we find our high and we find our last big low. This is the last big low. Okay, that's the first thing that you guys should have identified. Okay, so this is already wrong. Second thing is you see how price is bunched up over here? Why is there no data over here? Okay, this whole area has no data. Okay, which means that this can be a support resistance because once again, yes, I have multiple touches here, but there's nothing, okay, compared to relative price that is telling me that, oh, if it goes down to here, it's going to hold here. Okay, there's nothing. Okay, let's do another example. Okay, give me one sec here. Okay, can somebody tell me what is wrong with this chart? Or somebody that hasn't answered yet, please tell me what is wrong with this chart.
It's too many levels too close to one another. It's tight.
Okay, anybody else want to give this a try? Anyone else that hasn't spoken yet, please. You only
If
gotta help yourself.
if you zoom little bit, it would be great helps.
We're not going to zoom in here. Yes, it will help, but we're not going to zoom in here. Okay. Anybody else want to try with all the data that you have? Okay, not zooming in, not looking at smaller time frames. What is wrong with this chart?
I believe the bottom is way down there on the left hand side.
Okay, so Bimalay, you were correct. Okay, the reason I did that exercise like that was I'm trying to make you guys double question what you know. Okay, because in theory, this is what the market will do to you. Okay, he is absolutely right. Okay, there are too many levels too close to each other. How are we going to be able to trade this? Okay, there's no way for us to trade this because the prices are too close. But notice how I try to make you guys question each other. Okay, that is something that the market will do to you. Okay, is one person will have a level here, the other person will have a level here. Which level is right? And you have to put in, okay, you have to follow the three touches. Okay, and the way to know if a level is too close to another level is you want to look at, okay, how much does this stock move on average? Well, it moved from 233 all the way to 228. So that's about a $5 move. If we look down here, it moved from what, 211 to 218. That's a $6 move, which means that my levels should be at least, I would say, half of this. So they should be about $2.50 or more between each other. If they're any closer, then these levels automatically are too close. Okay, so once again, what Bimalai said was absolutely right. These levels are way too close to each other. Okay, now let's try another exercise. Okay, I'm gonna turn my screen off again, and this is kind of where it's gonna get a little bit more difficult for everybody. Okay, and I want you guys to work as a team. I want you guys to analyze the stock and tell me exactly what is going on with the stock, why you want to long or short, all of those things I'm expecting. Okay, I think I found a good stock to confuse you guys. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, so we're going to look at Apple, and you guys can't really cheat because you don't know how much data, how far back I am, things like that. Okay, first thing we're gonna do, okay, is we need to establish what? Can somebody tell me what do we have to establish before I even start drawing my levels? What do I have to establish in this chart?
The top and bottom.
Okay, so we have to find our top and bottom. Let's find our top, okay? My top is right up here. From what I see, I'm not gonna make back here. Okay, you could even honestly do this as the top for right now. Okay, because this is the last big high. You see price is kind of sideways here. Okay, this is kind of our chop zone that we were talking about earlier in another class. This is kind of our chop zone. We found our high. Okay, now what do we have to find?
The low.
Okay, so here's our low. So now we are inside of a channel. Okay, once again, channel is important because it helps us break down data into chunks. Okay, so now we've identified everything inside of this channel matters. Your next question should be, well, how far back do I look if all this data is in the channel? Okay, and the answer to that is not simple, but it is understandable. And what I mean by that is this is what's happening right now. Okay, this is current data as current as you're going to get. What's one thing we know about markets? Okay, markets cycle. Okay, markets go like this and markets change. Okay, just like a recycle bin, right? Something goes from your house to the trash can to the recycle, whatever, whatever, whatever. Okay, same thing with the market. The market has to cycle, meaning that these previous support and resistance levels do not correlate with the current. So we have to look at whatever the current market gives us, which means that we're going to focus on this block of data. Okay, we're not going to go back. We're not going to over confuse ourselves. Okay, now let's do a top-down analysis. Okay, you guys tell me if you like the levels or not. I'll ask you once I'm done making the levels. Okay, we have one there. We can see, okay, we're kind of holding down here, down here. Okay, we can also see we're kind of up here. Okay, and I'm gonna place one. Okay, I'm going back for this one, and I'm gonna place one there. Okay, what do you guys think of my levels? Do you guys like them? Do you guys not like them? What do you guys think?
Looks pretty good.
Okay, looks pretty good. Anybody else? Can I get one more person to either like or dislike my levels, please?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I just want to adjust the fourth from the top. That should be
One, two, three, four. This one?
yeah, that's supposed to be a little bit up because it tosses.
Right here. Right? Okay, so we found our support and resistance levels. Okay, now what's the second thing we're gonna look for? Okay, second thing we're gonna look for, okay, when we're actually trading is the trend. Okay, so once we identify these levels, the second thing we're looking for is the trend. Okay, what do you guys think is the trend overall here? I mean, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit, but what do you guys think is the trend?
Looks bearish.
Uptrend?
Uptrend. Okay, so you guys think it's an uptrend. Okay, there's our trend line. Okay, does anybody disagree or agree?
I would say
looks
sideways
bearish.
probably. It's kind of choppy.
Somebody said bearish. Okay, somebody said bearish. Okay, bearish. Let's try bearish. Right? Can I make this trend line make sense? I'm genuinely trying to see here. Okay, okay. I see where he's getting the bearish from. He was absolutely right. Okay, lower lows, lower highs. Okay, bearish. I agree. Okay, but then we have the short trend line here as well. Okay, what's one thing that we see? We see that price is all the way over here. It's way past this trend line, which tells us that we can get rid of this trend line. Okay, once we know we can get rid of this trend line, next thing we are going to do, let me see if I can turn this little replay mode. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. So now we have some data to work with. Okay, we have candlesticks. Okay, we have, we have channels / trend lines. Okay, and now we have our support and we have our resistance levels. Okay, so all three of these tick off. So now we actually have something. Okay, remember what we looked at. Whenever you're just trading candlesticks, it's not enough information. Whenever you're trading channels, okay, it's enough information to get you buy, but where do you know where to buy and sell? Okay, now we have all three. Now we're going to play this game again. If you guys were in the last class, I think a lot of people had fun playing this game. I want you guys to tell me to either buy, sell, keep going, okay, or to stop. Okay, you can unmute and yell at any time. You guys can tell me either you're going to long the stock or short it, and then please give an explanation so the rest of the class understands exactly why we're either longing or shorting. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Once again, we're on the 4-hour time frame. This is just for exercise.
Long.
Okay, somebody said long. Okay, why?
Because we're at the bottom of that line, so I'm expecting the price to at least go up somewhat.
Okay, so he's saying he wants long because price is at the bottom of the trend line. Okay, price is at bottom of the trend line. What else?
I'm
It's also
expecting
like wicking.
Okay, you guys said wicking. Somebody said wicking. What else?
Inside the channel.
Okay, it's inside the channel. Okay, what is the channel doing? Okay,
And just
what type of trend are we in inside of the channel?
uptrend.
Okay, good. Uptrend. Okay, so once again, what do we call these things that tell us which way the trade is going to go? Okay, we call these confirmations. Once again, confirmations. Okay, so let's take a look at a confirmation. Okay, first thing, uptrend. Yes. Okay, second thing, price action, wicking. Yes. Okay, third thing, we're at the bottom of the trend. Okay, one thing you guys missed is we were also at a support level.
Each support level. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Parag. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 confirmations. Okay, 4 confirmations equals, okay, A plus setup. Okay, that's just what I call it. I call it an A plus setup. Okay, so now, right, instead of us saying we're going to go to the top of this channel like last class, we have a level to say, I know where this is going to go. Okay, we bought here. Guess what? Where's our resistance? Our resistance is up here. Right? So what I'm going to do is my TP or my take profit, I'm going to put it up here. Okay, and my stop loss, I'm going to move it down here. Now, once again, we're not going over risk management in this class. We have terrible risk management right now, but this is just us going over an example. Okay, so once again, our take profit now is up here. So until price gets up there, we're not selling. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, nice. We ended up making some money on this trade. Okay, beautifully. Okay, it went up to here, and then it went up to here, and then it went up to here. You guys see how these levels reacted. Okay, let's keep going. Once again, you guys can say long or short whenever you guys are ready. Okay, but be sure to have an explanation ready. Let's keep going. And you guys can also say readjust trend line anytime you guys want as well.
Trend line has shifted already.
Okay, somebody said trend line shifted. Let's see. Okay, yeah, is this where you want your trend line?
No. Both the bottom one also.
Okay,
Like the whole channel has actually moved a little bit up.
Okay, do you want me to make this here or
No. Just go a little bit up more. Just yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, so what did we do? Okay, we reshifted because we have to play. Because remember, the market is like an organism. Okay, it's going to move and change as time goes on. We have to be ready for that. Just because you drew a trend line 3 months ago does not mean it's going to apply today. Okay, let's keep going.
I would buy there
Okay, somebody said that they would buy here. Okay, why?
because like it is bouncing off the support level
Okay,
and also the trend line, and it's also like wicking at the bottom.
okay. So once again, he found this support how because of our past data. Okay, the candlestick, okay, is wicking at the bottom. Okay, and we are at the top of the channel. We have 3 confirmations. This is a setup. Okay, so we're going to classify this as a setup. Okay, our stop loss on this trade is going to be right below this last support. But now here's the thing. We don't have any levels up here. Okay, this is an issue you are going to run into as a trader. Okay, what do we do? Before we even take the trade, so I'm going to cancel this trade here. Before we even take the trade, okay, we have to now establish that there is a new level. Okay, that's why I chose the setup. So now what we have to do is we have to find a new high. Okay, we're going to use this last high. We're not going to make it up here. And now we're going to do our levels here. I'm leaving my levels down here because this is still a valid channel play. But now I'm going to focus over here. Okay, Once again, I start from the top and I work my way down. Okay, boom, there's a level right there. Okay, boom, there's a main level right there. Okay, do we have any other levels I can draw here, or do you guys want to skip? Okay, does this look good? Does everybody like these levels?
Yes.
Okay, so everybody likes these levels, nothing else to add. Okay, let's keep going. So we're in 100 shares. We're going to get out if it goes below this line again. Okay, and let's keep going here. Okay, and by the way, our take profit now is going to be at this level. Why? Because this is the next resistance. Okay, are we going to break this support level or not? That's
Buy,
the big question. Okay,
buy on there.
okay, somebody also said buy. Okay, confirm. Okay, okay, we're going to buy. Somebody said buy. Okay, well, okay, let's buy again. Once again, same entry level. Okay, boom. Okay, once again, we made money. Okay, let's do a recap. Okay, price, once again, it was off the support level. Look what it did, guys. It went up to this resistance. Okay, it said, no, I don't want to be there. It came back down. It came right back to our support level again. Okay, if you didn't know better, okay, and we were just trading channels without any levels, you know what you would do? You would have already gone out of this trade here. Why? Because there was not a level there to give you that confirmation that we talk about. Okay. And then somebody said buy again here. Once again, this person saw an opportunity because we bounced off this level previously. Okay. We bounced off this same level before. All he's doing is he's adding his thinking and saying, okay, it bounced off this level before. We're above the trend line. It's probably going to go again. Okay. And then we sold here. Okay. Let's keep going. Okay. Anything you guys want to do with the trend line? You guys can remove the trend line if you want. You can come as completely if you want, or you guys can readjust. What do you guys want to do? Anyone? All right, I'm smelling confusion. Somebody tell me, what do you guys want to do?
Yeah, you want to readjust that one?
Okay, you want to readjust. Do you like this?
No, little bit vertical.
Okay, so you want it like this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The reason he took the trend line from this to this, for anyone that didn't understand, is if we look at this, okay, they're not touching down here. Okay, so he's applying what he learned last time. But here, now we're touching. Okay, so that's why he readjusted, and then he also saw that we're making a highs. Okay, so that's why he did the trend line. Okay, let's keep going here.
So all while we're still going off of the 4 hour.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, we will jump into smaller time frames in a minute, but this is just we're trying to apply what we learned in the last class with what we learned in the last few classes. Okay, so we're trying to apply everything we've learned so far, candlesticks, trend lines, everything, and we're just trying to stack that knowledge with each other. Okay, once again, you guys can say buy, sell, whatever you guys want.
Maybe do a put option there.
Okay, you want to short here.
Yeah.
Okay, so he wants to sell here. Okay. Okay, our stop loss is going to be right above here. Okay. Our target is going to be down here. Actually, I'm going to remove the stop loss just so I don't confuse you guys. Okay. But once again, our target is this level right here because you say he wants to play a put. Now, can you explain why you want to play a put here?
We're at the resistance area, right? And then we're wicking. And because
Resistance. Okay, once again, resistance, wicking. What else?
and the like candles are getting like smaller, you know?
Okay. No volume.
Yeah.
Okay,
Top
anything
of
else?
the channel. Oh, okay,
Yes.
no. So
Yes, I was waiting for that. Top of the channel. Okay. So 1 confirmation, 2 confirmation, 3 confirmation, 4 confirmation. Okay, now let's see if he's right.
Would it make sense to say we're Like maybe waiting for a V, another V.
Yes, that could also be a thing, right? But once again, the trade, we made money on the trade again. Okay. Now let's look at our trade. Let's look at our trades. Okay. Let's look at our trades here. Okay. We haven't lost a single trade. I don't know if you guys remember last week on Friday or on Thursday when we did this class, but we had 50-50, right? We were winning sometimes, we were losing sometimes, and it was kind of a mixed. Okay, maybe we had a little bit higher win rate than 50-50, but we were losing a few trades. But now we have 100% win rate. Okay, now once again, this is not realistic. You're not going to be able to keep 100% win rate no matter what strategy you trade. But look how nice the profits are now. Okay, we're just trading from one level to another. Okay, so you guys just applied everything you learned in the last few classes, and now look at you guys. Okay, you guys just went from not even knowing what a stock is to now you guys are able to predict long-term movement. Now this is the bigger time frame, so it's going to be a little bit easier, but we are going to go into smaller time frames here in a minute once this channel does something else for us. Okay, you guys let me know next Q.
Buy on there
Okay, you want to buy. Why?
because that's the in the support level.
Okay, so he saw support here, he saw support here, he saw support here. So he's saying here, it should do the same thing, correct? Okay, we're going to sell when the stock goes back up here, and we're going to sell if the stock goes below here. Okay, let's see if he's right. Once again, right? He ended up making money on this trade again. Just by, okay, applying that before previously price did the same thing, I think it's going to do it again. Okay? Now, just remember that sometimes this will happen and price will keep breaking. Okay? You're not going to have a 100% win rate. But you guys see how good we've been doing with this strategy. Okay? So for swing trading, this is a very, very powerful strategy. Okay? Now let's go to a smaller time frame. Let's try to apply this to real life day trading now. Okay? Anybody have a stock that they like? Anybody? Besides Tesla.
Let's do Amazon.
Okay, somebody said Amazon. Okay, I'm going to do all the analysis for you guys, and then you guys are just going to trade off of that. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, so here's Amazon. Okay, this is what the price action looks like. I'm not going to let you guys go in bigger time frames. Okay, you guys can tell me if you want me to draw any more levels. Okay, do you guys want me to draw any more levels? Just looking at this data. Okay, so
Yeah.
you guys, okay, where do you want me to draw a level? Tell me to stop whenever you want me to stop.
Yeah, right there.
Here? Okay. Okay, let's keep going. Tell me to stop whenever you want me to stop.
A little bit down right there. Right there.
All right, right here?
There's a level at 222.
Okay, so this is 222 right around here. Okay, let's keep going.
Right there.
Are you guys happy with the levels now, or you guys want more?
Probably one more down there. Yeah.
Right here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's try to apply what we just learned. Okay, to day trading. Okay, here, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to draw a trend line. Okay, do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Do you guys like it? Do you guys not? Okay, what do you guys think about my trend line? Okay, my channel.
think it's pretty good.
Okay. All right. So now let's day trade. Okay. Just make sure that you can give us a reason why you got in and out, or else do not give a trade. Okay. Anything? No? Okay.
Put on there.
Okay,
Put.
you want, okay, somebody said put. Okay. Let's sell. Okay. You want to play put here, which means that he's going to target this right here. Uh-oh. Okay, market closed. But you would have already been out of that trade, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so we lost money. Okay, that's fine. Let's keep going. Okay. Anytime you guys see this green or red, that just means pre-market or post-market, so I'm just gonna skip past all of that. Okay, and this is kind of another reason why I was doing the bigger time frames is because we don't have to deal with this, but that's fine. Okay. So market just opened up here. Let me know if you guys want to take anything. Okay. Once again, here's our level
The
of,
channel changed.
okay, channel changed. Okay, what do you want me to do with the channel?
Uptrend.
Okay, so you want me to make it like this now?
Yeah.
Like this?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so Prague is absolutely right. You guys see that? Okay. You have to be more adaptive if you're a day trader, okay? Because how hard is it for you to go from this, right, to all the way over here? Okay, you have to be very adaptive, okay? So he just adapted his channel. Okay, now let's keep going. Okay, what's one thing that we realize? That we don't have anything up here. Okay, so because price is here, I'm going to go and I'm going to draw this top right here. Okay, just so we have a level. Okay, now you guys let me know what you want to do. Anything? No? Okay, we're gonna keep going.
Put on there.
Too late. Too late here, but okay. You want to put, okay. Once again, he's doing a put. Okay, he wants to sell down here. That's why he's doing a put. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so it would have taken you out of your trade. Okay. Anything you guys want to do up here?
But
Okay.
short.
Okay, somebody said short again. Okay, let's try it. Once again, we're gonna sell when we get down here. Okay, so this is a loss again.
It keeps
Okay.
bouncing off that 223 level.
Yes. Okay. Why do we keep losing money even though we are technically entering in a good play? Okay. Why are the plays that we're working on a bigger time frames not working now? Okay. And this is where micromanaging your levels comes in. Okay. This is called micromanaging. Okay. What micromanaging means is, okay, he wanted to take a put. Okay. He took a put here because we were getting a good rejection. It's a great play. Okay. What he didn't see, okay, was if we zoom out here, okay, there might have been a hidden level right here. And actually there was. Okay. If we look right here, there's a hidden level right here, came back down, right here came back down. Okay. We had this chop right here bounced. You guys see this? Right here came down, right here came down. Okay. So instead of his price target being down here, it should have been here. Okay, same thing here. Okay, if you are trading, okay, and you already have, let's just imagine that this doesn't exist. Okay. He ended up taking a put play right here. Okay. His first target should be wherever the last structure was, okay, which we went over with candlesticks. And then his second target should be well below that, okay? It should be here. You are not going to be targeting down here, okay? One more little thing is technically you guys are fighting the channel, okay? That's another thing you need to watch out for is remember now we're at a uptrend, which means that you should be buying the dips, not shorting. Okay, let's keep going with this. Okay, let's keep going with this. Once again, market hasn't opened yet. Okay, and you guys let me know if you want to add any levels or do anything like that.
We need to adjust the channel.
Okay, somebody said we need to adjust the channel. Okay. You want the channel up here? Okay. This up here doesn't make sense, right? So now we have this channel. We broke even higher. What we can do is we can go here. Okay, and we can try to adjust the channel like this. Does this make sense? Yes, it does. Okay, but we're not going to make a channel that goes like this. Why? Because it just does not make sense depending on the price action. Okay, so now guess what? This channel, it's irrelevant to us now because price is up here. Okay, second thing we have to do is now we have to zoom out because price is over here. We have to get levels from over here. Okay, last time you guys agreed that we had enough levels. Now we're going to go back and add a few levels. Okay, let me know if you want to change any of these levels around. Okay, we're gonna go over here now. Okay, so can somebody tell me what trend are we in?
Uptrend.
Okay, so we're at an uptrend, which means that a stock is going to go like this. Okay, which means that our buying, okay, these are the levels that we buy at. Okay, so any pullback we get, we want to buy at. Okay, let's keep going. Let me know what you guys want to do, long or short, okay? Let me know what you guys want to take anytime. Okay, I'm going to make an assumption this could be right, this could be wrong. But just from what I see, once again, I'm not going to take this trade, but from what I see here is how hard we are wicking at this level and it can't break. I think we might come back down. That's just my guess. Okay?
Short.
Okay, somebody said short. Why?
We're at the key resistance level and it's wicking. Most likely it will come down as well.
Okay, it's wicking. Let's see. So we're gonna sell when it comes down here. Okay, let's see. Oops, nope, you ended up losing money, right? Once again, we're at a uptrend. Okay? See how easy it is to lose money in day trading because you throw all of the thinking away because you're on such a small time frame. Okay? What ends up happening is you're gonna forget that you drew a trend line. Okay? You're gonna forget that we were even inside of a channel. Okay? You're gonna forget that we're making higher highs and higher lows. Okay? All of this goes out the window. Okay? Because you have to make faster decisions. Okay? Let's look at another stock. Okay, we're gonna try the same practice again. Okay. Somebody pick a stock.
Wood.
Hood. Okay. Okay. Hood. Okay, I'm looking at it. Okay, now we're gonna apply the 15-minute and the 5-minute. Okay, we're gonna apply the 15-minute and the 5-minute. Let's do this exercise again. Okay. Okay, overall, once again, I'm just focused on the day trading aspect of it. Okay. I have my high here. I have my low down here. Okay. And we have a level here, which I think most of you guys will agree with. We actually might have a level even lower. Okay, we have a level here, and then we have a level here. Do you guys agree with these levels?
Yes.
Okay. Now, oops. Let me just go back to one chart. Okay. Let's just do this. Okay. So now I'm going to give you guys the option to either choose from the 5-minute or the 15-minute chart. Okay. And on top of that, you guys can tell me add channel, you guys can tell me to long, you guys can tell me to short. Okay. Does that sound fair enough? We're going to go ahead and get started here.
Long there
Okay. Why do you want to long here?
because it's retest the level.
Okay. Anything else you see with this chart?
Uptrend, weakening.
Okay, so we have an uptrend. Okay, we can identify this once again. We draw a channel. We can draw something like this over here. We can try to further validate this. Okay, is this correct? Maybe fix this up a little. Okay, we have 1-2 touch at the bottom, so we're not going to call this a trend line. Okay, so we're going to kind of get rid of this. Okay, but you want to long, we're going to sell it when it comes back up to here. Okay, we're going to get out of this trade if it goes down to this line right here, this level. Okay, so we're risking $200 to make 400, 1 to 2 risk to reward, which you guys will learn about. Okay, let's see if this is right. Okay, so it ended up taking him out of the trade once again. Okay, it ended up taking him out of the trade.
Out long though.
Okay, you can't long here. It's
Oh yeah.
market's closed. Okay. Next example, I want somebody that hasn't participated yet to participate. Everyone that's been participating, please don't participate. Okay. So, okay. Now we have a little bit more data to work with. Okay. So this was Wednesday. We have a little bit more data to work with. Okay. You guys let me know what you want to do.
I would go long over there.
Okay, you want to go long here. Okay. Once again, we're at support. There was support before. Okay, we ended up losing money again. Okay, what's happening now? Right? Why do we keep losing money? Okay, this was working a minute ago. Why isn't it working now? Once again, okay, day trading is much harder because there are many other factors that you guys have to look into. Okay, you have enough data now to swing trade. Okay, but you still don't have enough data to day trade. Okay, or at least day trade effectively. Okay, few kind of key pointers I want to give to you guys. Okay, here, up here, oops, up here. Okay, I don't know why nobody said short. Okay, down here. Okay, I don't know why nobody said long. Okay, because you guys see this is a breakout, this is a retest, and then this is the next move up. Okay, now let's look at this chart. Now let's work together and let's look at this chart. What's happening on the smaller time frame? Okay, this was a higher high. Okay, this is a higher low. Actually, no, this is not. Okay, this is a higher, lower high. Oops, lower high. Okay, why? Because this high is lower than this one. Do you guys agree with that? Okay, and this is a lower low because this low is lower than this one. Okay, so what's happening here now? Okay,
It's
market is
downtrend.
okay, so market is shifting now. Okay, let's keep going. This is pre-market order. This is post-market. This is pre-market once again. Okay, market just opened up once again. People that haven't spoken yet, unmute yourself. Either say long or short.
Short.
Okay, somebody said short. Okay, we're going to sell here. We want to buy it back down here. Okay, market closed. Okay, but that was a good trade. Okay, once again, I don't know why you guys missed this right here. Okay, remember market is at a downtrend, which means that you are going to short the pop. Okay, now was this a great trade? No. Okay, it was not a great trade, but we can confirm here that okay, this was a level, this was a level. Guess what? This was a level. Okay, so we were looking to play it back down. Okay, so we've established, okay, we know how to draw support resistance. We know our candlesticks. We know everything thus far, but we still can't day trade it. Okay, because there are more mechanics to day trading than there is to swing trading. Okay, and also the price action, remember, okay, look at the price action. Market doesn't move a lot every single day. Okay, and this is why support and resistance, okay, and everything you learned so far is still not enough to become a great day trader. Okay, yes, now you know, okay, if it goes to this level, it's going to go up to here, but there are still a few parts that we are missing. Okay, in tomorrow's class, you guys are going to learn supply and demand zones. Okay, this is going to help cut down on all of these little trades that you guys kept losing. Okay, from tomorrow on, you won't be losing in these dumb little trades. Okay, because we're going to know where market is going to go next and we're going to know the critical levels. Okay, all of these levels we drew, they don't actually matter. believe it or not. Okay, these are just target levels that we have. But now we need to know, okay, if price goes to X level, okay, it's going to bounce really hard, or if price goes up to a certain resistance, it's going to come down really hard. That's what you guys are going to learn tomorrow. Okay, so once again, you guys are doing great so far. Okay, I think I see a lot of improvement, especially for you guys to swing trade and stuff like that. But as far as day trading, we still don't have enough information to make informed decisions, which we saw here. Okay, if we go to trading plan panel and we look here, we ended up taking a decent amount of losses. Okay, which we were winning a minute ago, but now we're not. Okay, because we don't have enough information. So tomorrow's class, once again, is going to be at 8 p.m. We're going to go over supply and demand. This is going to help a lot as far as cutting the noise in smaller time frames, things like that, and also finding really, really good swing setups. After that, we're going to actually have you guys start paper trading and actually teaching you how to journal your trades. Okay. Once we get to this step, this is where you guys are actually going to learn, the strategies, stuff like that. And then we're going to get into options after that. Okay. And then we will have a class dedicated to strategies, things like that, psychology and routines. Okay. And then risk management as well. So all of these things you guys are going to learn this next week. So it should be a very exciting and very fun week. Class is recorded once again, so you guys can go back to it. Any questions here for today? Okay.
Yes, bro. मार्केट सर्ट गर्दाखेरि ब्रो त्यो हाम्रो डेट त एक्सपायर हुँदैन नि है
No, but I highly, highly do not recommend shorting. Okay. You can go into a short squeeze if you end up shorting. You know?
Okay.
And what ends up happening is so to short shares, you have to be on margin. Okay. Which means that whenever you're shorting shares, you're borrowing. You're always going to be borrowing when you're shorting shares, which means you're going to be negative. If that stock pumps up and you're shorting the actual share, you can go negative really fast and get into what we call a margin call, which is where you have to deposit money to be able to trade again.
I
So it's a really good way to go into generational debt. So I highly recommend staying away from it.